He's not the first, but he's definitely the latest and one of the most high-profile violators of COVID-19 norms, and it is none other than Karnataka's health minister. Can you believe it? In a brazen violation of almost every single coronavirus regulation that has been imposed on millions across the country, Karnataka's health minister B Sriramulu has just taken part in this enormous procession in the Chitradurga district of Karnataka. He was greeted, he was garlanded by a huge crowd, forgetting all social distancing norms. He waved to the crowd, he reveled in all this wonderful political adulation from his fans. He is, after all, a very popular mass leader. The minister can also be seen wearing no mask. In fact, no one or very few people in the crowd are actually wearing a mask as they swarm around the vehicle that's transporting this minister. Next to the state health minister Sriramulu is BJP MLA Tippa Reddy and others. Meanwhile, after going into a crowd without a mask and with zero social distancing, Sriramulu says that social distancing has to be maintained. Imagine the irony. After conducting this entire procession, then he gives advice on social distancing. He also says no public meetings should be allowed. But the big question is, what was the state health minister of Karnataka thinking when he decided to participate in a procession of this kind? And now he's decided to preach, thinking that will make up for this brazen, shameful violation of rules that are imposed on every other citizen of Karnataka.
ಈ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ರಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರ್ರಿ ದೂರ ದೂರ ಇರ್ರಿ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ತಡೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ ಕೈಲಾಗಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಬಹಳ ಶಕ್ತಿಶಾಲಿ ಆಗ್ತೀರಿ ನಮ್ ತಳ್ಕೊಂತ ನಮ್ ನುಗ್ಗಿಸಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ತೀರ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾತು ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಮಾತನ್ನಾಗ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಮಾತನ್ನ ತಾವು ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಧರಿಸಿ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲನ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಫ್ಲರ್ ಟವಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದ ನಂತರ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಬರ್ಮುಟ್ಟಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮನೇಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಮುಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ ನೀವು ಸೋಪಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈ ತೊಳ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೈಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೈ ತೊಳ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ.
He has been proven to be a COVIDiot, which I think everybody realizes that these are the people who are the ones who are the greatest spreaders of the disease. Not just him. In the recent past, a minister of the Karnataka government by the name of Medhavati had also done exactly the same thing. And you will all remember that there was an MLA by the name of Masala Jairam, and all three of them belong to the BJP. With this kind of a scenario, I think it's impossible for Mr. Sriramulu to continue in office, and he must demit office instantaneously. If not, the Chief Minister must ask him to resign.
Well, I just want to recap for you while we look at these images, the number of different violations that have taken place. First of all, the fact that this procession is even happening is a violation. Who has allowed a political procession of this kind? This is, of course, Sriramulu's area, but who has allowed him to conduct this procession? Mr. Sriramulu is not the first minister leader in Karnataka to violate norms in this shameful manner. From Yediyurappa downward, everyone has gamely violated norms in a state that has otherwise set the standards for how a state should actually open up. No masks, no social distancing, procession flouting all rules, and then a lame excuse from none other than the health minister. I would go ahead to say that this could be one of the biggest violations we've seen from the political class in this entire lockdown period. Courtesy the state health minister of Karnataka. I want to bring in my guests this evening. Aishwarya Mahadev, spokesperson of the Congress party, and Vaibhav Agarwal, who is founder president of the Yuva Bharat Foundation and is linked to the BJP. I want to come to you first, Aishwarya, because the Congress party justifiably has taken this up in a very big way. You're actually demanding the Karnataka health minister's resignation. This was a huge procession. How did this even happen?
Shiv, first and foremost, I'd like to remind everybody that Chitradurga is a district with active cases, right? As of yesterday's health bulletin, as I recall, that there are 29 cases in this district, and you realize how dangerous it is, right? And this lackadaisical approach of the minister, actually, it's not even ironic that he speaks about, wear a mask later. It's sheer hypocrisy on his part. Because Shiv, in Karnataka, the poor are being fined for not wearing a mask when they go outside. And then there's a minister, health minister no less, who's basically doing this. And I think it is absolutely shameful that this is what the reality is. And as a health minister himself, the man is supposed to set an example. If this is what is happening, I think it is right for the Congress party to be asking this. Because also, Sriramulu has a track record of just PR exercises. That is why Suresh Kumar became the spokesperson and also in charge of dealing with the cases of COVID in Karnataka. I think it's sheer negligence, but mark my words. When you ask who gave you permission for this procession, they will blame some poor DC and have him transferred because Sriramulu, they cannot move because he's the money bags of the BJP. But please, I want Vaibhav Agarwal to come out here and justify or even try to justify what has happened.
No, there's no justification.
And give me any sort of explanation for what this
I'm
is.
going to ask this because, see, this is a pandemic. So there are nobody can make any small disclaimers one side or the other. And I also want to, remind all of our viewers that unlike many other channels here on India Today, yesterday we took on Imran Pasha of the JDS. Before that, we've taken on Congress leaders in other states. So here we don't look at party. We look at the political class and we see violations and we call them out. Vaibhav Agarwal, this is a shameful, condemnable action by the Karnataka health minister. He had no business being part of a procession of this kind, and therefore no excuses are possible right now. He cannot say, I can't stop people from loving me, etc. He should not have been there in the first place.
Well, Shiv, I think for a change, I would have loved it if the Congress spokesperson from Karnataka would have actually not said that Congress isn't within the rights and would have said the public is within the rights to point it out because she's also a citizen of Karnataka. She's a Kannadiga. But it's okay. Politics at its best. However, I will not support Sriramulu at this point because what we're seeing is wrong, is absolutely wrong. But on the hindsight, it is also very, very, very difficult within the constituency and when you travel and to stop your supporters. Yes, there is a balance that had to be created. There is some sense that had to prevail in. What went wrong will only an investigation bring it up.
No. Vaibhav, come on. This is a wishy-washy answer. What do you mean by, these things happen when a person goes into their constituency or go towards these particular districts? Look at the crowd of people that's there. Aishwarya, I can't imagine. This doesn't look like it's spontaneous. This looks entirely organized. This is a huge organized crowd.
When you are in public space, this is absolutely spontaneous. This is not organized. This cannot be organized.
Can you tell me? Can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question. Vaibhav, let me ask you a simple question since you're saying this is spontaneous. I can see Sriramulu sitting on what I can only imagine is some kind of rath. It has lots of malas on it. This is a ritualistic procession. He has been garlanded. He's been garlanded. There are flowers everywhere. There are cameras everywhere. This is a completely, Aishwarya says it's a PR exercise. Forget that.
When I travel to my constituency, my Karyakartas will be able to prepare something like this in less than 2 hours of notice.
Why did that happen?
I'll tell you why now.
So you're blaming the Karyakartas now. I hope the BJP Karyakartas are listening.
I'm saying it is the emotional connect that Sriramulu has with his constituency, and the Karyakartas defied all norms to come and greet their leader. And that's the love that they have. Yes, what happened was very wrong. He should have negated it. Yes, Yediyurappa should take it up with him.
Emotional connect is going to mean nothing when these people are in an ICU, sir, and I hope that never happens. What does emotional connect mean, Aishwarya, if these people get infected? That's a simple question. I don't understand this emotional connect nonsense. I congratulate mass leaders. Sriramulu is a nice man. I have interviewed him also during the Karnataka elections. He's a mass leader. My simple question is, why does responsibility go out of the window? Why does politics need to take precedence over people's safety? Aishwarya.
Shiv, let me make one thing very clear, right? With the status of the APMCs, with the status of even getting heavy vehicles moving around, to get a crane to even put that garland is something next to impossible unless it's premeditated and also sanctioned by people in power, right? Because he's the MLA of Mulkal Muru, understood, in Chitradurga district, and he's a minister. For the Congress MLAs to even go back to their constituencies, the BJP created so many roadblocks. They wouldn't allow our leaders to go back. If they were stuck in Bangalore, they weren't even allowed to go back to their people who were suffering at that point. And then you see this sort of carelessness when cases are on the rise. And Sriramulu is absolutely to blame. Nobody cares about Sriramulu's negligence or his health. We care about the hundreds and thousands of people there who, even if one man is asymptomatic, he could affect each and every other man there. You look at them without masks, no gloves, any bodily fluid. Even if it's sweat, you realize you're endangering the entirety of his constituency. And if he's such a loved MLA, doesn't he have a responsibility to his people? Because these political things are not spontaneous. Tell me where the poor people of Mulkal Muru, also if you look at the poverty levels of that constituency, where they'll be able to manage in a jiffy all these celebratory items and the garlands. And salt on the wound is him going out there, after having endangered everybody.
No, this just sets a wrong example. Let me show you an interesting image, Vaibhav. And, once again, if you think I'm being partisan in any way, you can look at my past shows and see how we've taken similar Congress leaders, JDS leaders, Imran Pasha, etc. to task. Today, the issue is the Karnataka State Health Minister because he's in focus. But Vaibhav, please look at my screen right now. From Mr. Yediyurappa, who attended a wedding during lockdown, to Mr. Sudhakar, who's, chilling in a swimming pool, to MLA Masala Jairam, who's cutting a birthday cake with a huge crowd, in Tumkur a few weeks ago during the lockdown, totally violating norms, to now the Karnataka Health Minister. I've shown you the Chief Minister plus 3 ministers, Vaibhav. There is a pattern going on here. And even while Karnataka has performed well and, is the envy of many other states as far as opening up is concerned, minister after minister after minister is setting this rotten example of how to follow the law during the pandemic.
I agree with you. And I have already said that Honorable Chief Minister B Yediyurappa should take it up with Sriramulu, and Sriramulu should come back and probably even go to an extent where he can actually publicly apologize for what he did. But then he should always respect his constituency. And I know I don't have any questions with that respect. However, if there is a family of a person who's in their private pool, I don't think that we should be able to point that out. What we should stick to it is he, as the health minister, is responsible for the health of the people of the state, including his constituency. And if there was something that goes wrong in his constituency because of this, I think there should be an investigation perhaps at that particular time.
What's the point, Vaibhav? What's the point?
Question him.
What's the point? What's the point of an investigation? I would like to hazard a guess and say there are at least a few hundred people in this crowd that is following Mr. Sriramulu around. He's the Karnataka Health Minister. He is the man taking decisions as far as people's health is concerned. I mean, it would be bad enough for any other minister, Vaibhav. This is the health minister. It doesn't get worse than this. I mean, you've got the guy who's literally responsible for people's health in the state, violating every single norm that his own department has set down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that Sriramulu, what happened under the watch of Sriramulu should have been known to him, and he should come back and apologize for it. But on the same hand, asking for a resignation and doing politics on it, I don't think that it's good. I think I would request all the opposition parties to hold him accountable for it, but no politics around it. That's what the principle should be. And I think the Congress should be able to raise it up on Twitter and everywhere else, wherever we can do in terms of social media, and ask Sriramulu to apologize to people and take responsibility if need be for that action. But doing any politics and doing any opposition asking for resignation and all that, I don't think that should be done unless we can actually assert certain responsibility for someone's mishandling of the subject.
Aishwarya, you want to respond to that? Vaibhav says apologize, investigate, but stop this resignation demand stuff during a pandemic.
I think there used to be a time where if tiny mismanagement happened, the opposition, which was then the BJP, would cry murder and ask for resignations. And what has happened now is that you're like, oh no, he's tried his best. this is the wishy-washy attitude that we need to get away, like we basically need to do away with, because this is negligence of the highest order. Also, Shiv, let me give you the fact of the matter. Sriramulu hasn't been supremely efficient also because Sudhakar was given his charge to handle COVID. And then both of them started fighting. After which you got Suresh Kumar, who's an education minister, to handle COVID because both of these two ministers were bickering like children. So it's not like all the corona effect, efforts of the state are because of these two people. And you're talking about politicizing. Let me give you one example. My Congress party president, D.K. Shivkumar, was denied having even swearing in with asking for permission of 50 people in one place and said the panchayats will get 10 to 15 people to watch it because it is about time I take over control because I have to tour the state and work. You know what the BJP did? The same BJP that is having thousands of people flock Sriramulu denied permission for even 50 people while they're allowing 100 people to have weddings. That is politicization.
No, absolutely.
The Congress party
come on.
has
What happened in Maharashtra? Why does it happen in Maharashtra? I want to ask Shiv that why does it only happen in Maharashtra? What happened during the funeral of Rishi Kapoor? Who gave permission in the in the heart of Bombay where the cases are maximum, and which is Delhi and Maharashtra are the only two states which are contributing India towards going up the ladder in terms of countries having maximum thing. Who gave them permission for more than 20 people?
No, before this...
I mean, isn't that Congress government? Come on, I mean, having two standards on two different governments, I at least can sit here and say that Sriramulu can apologize. Can she say that Uddhav Thackeray should apologize? Congress is completely double standards.
Okay,
I can bring at least 10 more instances in Congress-rule states
you
like
do
that.
realize the funeral didn't have more than 50 people there, but it was immediate family.
I can give you pictures where Rishi Kapoor's funeral had more than 500 people.
Okay, let me just say that here on India Today, whenever violations have happened, whether it is Uddhav Thackeray or otherwise, we have highlighted it because we don't take sides. My simple question now is, Vaibhav, you have every right to say what about Uddhav Thackeray, that's fine. But to keep the
politics in it.
To keep the focus on this.
Very honestly, I'm saying
there's
no doubt about it.
I'm saying we're all adults here. There is no such question as why the politics on it. Of course, there's going to be politics. There are politicians involved. I am simply asking, Vaibhav, okay, and please listen to my question very carefully. In Karnataka, a lot of good work has been done.
Yeah.
People are talking about the Karnataka model. People are talking about how Karnataka has taken very good, efficient decisions as far as opening up is concerned and led the way.
Absolutely.
It's become a bit of a model state. Everyone's talking about Kerala, but nobody talks about Karnataka. A lot of good work has happened in Karnataka. I am simply saying, with this 120-second image, all of that is ruined. All of that is ruined. That's what these images do. People will look at these images and say, "Arey, the health minister is behaving like this. Let's all go outside. Let's all do whatever tamasha we want."
Yeah, absolutely. I agree to it. And what has happened is very wrong, and that's why I am saying that Sriramulu, if I could, then I would actually get live on the issue and actually say that Sriramulu, you should apologize for it. Because, even last 3 months, I've been sitting at home. Why am I sitting at home? I've not stepped out. One of the reasons I've not stepped out is because being a public figure, it is my obligation. It is my obligation to actually set an example to other people who follow me, saying that, hey, don't do that.
No, so
and I acknowledge that totally.
Aishwarya, any last comments on this? I mean, you're asking for Sriramulu's resignation. You've asked for others' resignations in the past as well. Like I said, Sriramulu is only the latest, I think the third or the fourth minister after the chief minister who's violated COVID norms in this manner. What next? Is the quote-unquote politics going to continue?
One man's megalomania should not endanger the lives of millions. And this is a sort of, COVID-19, something that we're battling, doesn't, like the manner in which it functions, even being asymptomatic is so dangerous because you can endanger so many other lives even if you are perfectly all right. Shiv, this is a state where if a poor man or a migrant laborer didn't have a mask on the streets, you saw people fining them, the authorities fining them.
Yeah.
And then you see another man whose need for validation or need for basically self-importance has jeopardized the efforts in his own district, his own constituency.
Absolutely.
All we ask is be far more responsible because you are the health minister of all people. And you should set the standard and set the precedent.
That's
and if Vaibhav can be so sensible about it, and I think he's been extremely sensible on this
he has.
I show who he impresses upon all his leaders across the board to be far more sensible
No, I
and
hope
not
so.
given
Ah,
to these
I
women
hope so.
fantasies
There
of
needs to
having
be,
expand their
there
realm.
needs to be, I agree with you, and I think Vaibhav has been very gracious. I think more politicians need to be gracious, but not just gracious. They also need to have the basic sense of responsibility of their job and a basic sense of empathy and care for the lives and the health of their own people, their constituents. If one of these people, and Aishwarya is right, if one of these people is asymptomatic and they've managed to spread it, imagine the damage that can be done from one such procession. Aishwarya and Vaibhav, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining me on this.
Thank you.
We're trying to get Minister Sriramulu on this story as well. So far, he's not, accepted to come with us live. But if he does, then we will get his personal word on this story as well. Thank you very much on that, Aishwarya.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.